Hey everybody, come on in. It's Saturday night and I'm getting a head start on my Mother's Day dinner. I've already seasoned my steaks, got them in the fridge. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and we're going to make the gumbo tonight. So I won't have that to do tomorrow. Gumbo's already better when you go ahead and make it and then let it sit overnight and then reheat the next day. I tell you what, I had a hard time with my gumbo for last time. It was a disaster. I don't know what happened. It spoiled on me. But anyway, this one is going to be awesome. So, I always use turkey meat and I use chicken. I don't use that andouille sausage. I don't really care for it that much to begin with. So I use smoked turkey sausage in my gumbo. And I use chicken in my gumbo. And of course, I use shrimp and I've got oysters to put in it. So you see the smoked sausage and the peppers and onions that I have to saute before I put them into the pan with the other ingredients. So what I'm going to do now is to go ahead and cook the chicken, because I've got some chicken drumettes. I love these chicken. Oh, of course I got to put corn in there too. So I'm going to use about 3 pounds of chicken in my gumbo. So I'm going to go ahead and just start dropping this chicken in there. This is out of that big. I buy a big old bag of chicken from Sam's Club, and I just love chicken in my gumbo. Like I said, I'm cooking the chicken now, the sausage, bell pepper, onions, my shrimp, and I've got corn. Where's my corn? Anyway, I've got the corn on the cob that I'll be dropping in there, and also a little bit of okra that I'm going to drop in there. So for right now, it's going to take that chicken a good 35 minutes to cook. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and saute my peppers, onions, and my sausage, and I can just start putting it together so I can go ahead and get my gumbo to cooking, y'all. So y'all hold on, and I will return. Okay, I had to get a little bit more water to put in my pot. I think I needed about 12 cups of water for right now to get that chicken cooked, because we're gonna need the juice in there for the gumbo anyway. So I put about 3 pounds of chicken in there. I'm gonna go ahead and cover that and let it start cooking. Hold on just a minute. Somebody's ringing my doorbell. Okay, I've got my sausage sauteing. I'm going to let them cook just a minute longer, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the peppers and onions right in the pan beside it. And we're going to have something going on here shortly. Let's get them nice and brown, and then put them into my gumbo. It's just we talked about before, when you saute veggies or other items that you're going to put into another recipe, it just pulls the flavor, makes it that much better. So I always try to, especially for gumbos and things like this, and also for whenever I make curry, I always like to saute the onions and peppers before I put them in. So just gonna let these continue to cook here. They got another few more minutes, and then I'll go ahead and put the peppers and onions in right there beside it. Okay, y'all, I'm back. The chicken is done. I'm gonna have to add some more water to it. I'm gonna go ahead and start now putting the other ingredients in. I've got my okra, my corn, the sausage, the shrimp, everything else needs to go in. So I'm going to start with the sauteed onions and sausage. Get them going in there with that chicken. Oh, y'all, that's going to be some good eating, y'all. Okay. And I got to get my okra. I like to get that okra going in there sort of early on so that it can cook. This is good. It's cut okra too. So, the little cut up pieces of okra. This is I think a 1 pound bag. Yeah, I'm just going to put half of that okra in there. Half of the okra. And you're going to get it boiling really good. And the shrimp will be almost the last thing that I put in there. Now I've got some oysters that I've had in the freezer, some fresh oysters, and I've got some canned oysters. Last time I put canned oysters, somebody wrote me in the comments and said that wasn't how you do gumbo. Well, that's how I do mine. Because I love the smoked oysters, and I love getting them into my gumbo because it just gives them a real good flavor. And I just put a couple cans of them in. And like I said, I also put in fresh oysters. So let's get that heat going real good. And you know I got to make a little roux to go in there. Not going to do a lot this time. I got started on this pot late. I'm going to be up for a while, letting this cool back down so I can get it into the refrigerator. I've got this package of corn, and what I usually do, these are those little half ears of corn. I'm going to cut them in half again because I don't want the whole big pieces in. So I'm going to use, I think there's 12 ears in here, and I'll probably use about half of this bag in there. So I'm just starting to put all my ingredients in, and we're just going to get it boiling, and honey, we'll be ready to taste of it shortly. So hang in there with me, and I'm going to go ahead and chop this corn in half. Okay, got my corn going, y'all. I cut some, and I left some like it was. There's a last one, the big one. So that chicken is just cooked to pieces up there, y'all. This is going to be some good eating, y'all. Okay. Like I said, I always put my shrimp in last.
This is ruining my sex drive for the next.
Okay. Let's clean up back here. Y'all can't see this, but I can.
Uh-oh. Is she gonna cut it?
You should have done anything other than us touching you.
I am looking at this celebrity watch party. They got these different celebrity families. Tyra Banks and her family is on there. And let's see, who else is on there? Rob Lowe and his family. The Osbournes. And the little guy that raps. I can't think of his name right now. But he's on there. Anyway, this gumbo is just going to cook. That chicken is doing just what I wanted to do. I wanted to cook 2 pieces. And I've still got my shrimp, oysters, and what else do I have to put? Oh, yeah, shrimp and oysters is what I got left to put in there. I am going to have to put a little bit more water, and then I'll get my roux going in there last. I am so excited. I want it to get done so I can eat some. So we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, got my oysters in, my fresh oysters, and my canned smoked oysters. I just love the flavor of those canned smoked oysters. Look at that.
2 brass banana lamps that are behind
Bring it to a boil again. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my shrimp in shortly. And then we'll go ahead and make the roux, get the roux going in there. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and get that roux started to go in there. I'm watching The Crazy Masked Singer now, y'all. Have y'all ever watched The Masked Singer? I love it. Okay. We're going to get this roux going, then we'll be back, and we're going to end off this gumbo, and y'all will see it tomorrow again on the flavor train because my children are going to come to eat dinner with me tomorrow. Okay, y'all, it's a roux time. I got about a 3/4 cup of oil in here. It's olive oil. And I think this is a little over half a cup of flour. Got to have that heat up high. Got to be hot so we can get it a little bit more. Yeah. It needs to be a nice paste like that. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I like my roux dark. So y'all gonna have to hang here with me. I think that's enough flour. Cup of flour. And about a cup of oil. I'm using olive oil here, y'all. Or you can use corn oil, whatever oil you have. You know, we had the great debate about olive oil last week. Now, I'm using olive oil. And of course, you know, when you get ready to pour in your roux, you need that gumbo boiling real good. And you have to continue to stir in this roux too so it does not burn, because it will burn because the heat is all the way up. And remember, you're working with flour. The flour will cook quickly. Get brown quickly, so you want to have that. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. I'm going to tell you, you have to be real careful when you pour this roux in there, because it's going to pop all over the place. I'm going to get me a lid here that will cover that so it won't burn my hands up. Because this pot is kind of full, and I don't want my hands burned up. And like I say, when you're making a dark roux, I'm going to tell y'all that's not for the faint of heart. You see how dark that's getting? It's nice and dark, but I like mine a little bit darker. And you just continue to stir, stir, stir. And as you stir it, it's going to get darker. It's going to get darker. It's going to get darker. I can get it darker than that because it's thickening up at this pace like it is doing now. It's time for me to go ahead and start putting it into my pan. And remember what I told you about how it's going to pop up and boil up. Got to be real careful with it. Little bubble over on your hands, honey. You don't want them hands burned up. This stuff is extremely, extremely hot, so you have to be real careful with it. So I think that's enough. I believe that's enough. Yeah. Put that a little bit more in there, maybe. Okay. Got the roux in. And this gumbo is well on its way. Thought I saw a little dark piece in there, but I didn't. So, we're just going to let it go ahead and continue to cook now. Let's put the lid on it just like so. Turn that burn off. And I need to get over here and do some kind of a cleanup. As you can see, what the roux does, it gives it, it thickens it a little bit. You don't want it really, really thick. Just thicken it about like so. Okay? So it'll have like some consistency to the broth that's in there. So we're just gonna let that cook about another 15-20 minutes. It's already been cooking a couple hours, the chicken and so forth. So I'm just gonna let this cook on a medium-high heat so that all my ingredients can cook in. And I'll just continue to use that lid right there for the time being. My other lid, I don't know what happened to the little handle thing that goes on it. But we're just going to turn that heat down to medium-high. I'm going to go ahead and do my cleanup, and I shall return in a few minutes. Okay, y'all, it's time to drop the shrimp. Okay, this is a 1 pound bag of large shrimp going in there. So we're going to get those. I got another bag of shrimp to put in. I hope I don't boil this over. But I always put my shrimp in last, because that way they don't cook too long. And these are real expensive shrimp. These Argentina red shrimp or Argentina pink, these are raw, ready to cook, already cleaned, deveined, and all that kind of good stuff. Tails off, 1 pound. So total, there's 2 pounds of shrimp in this pot. So I've got about, let's see, 3 pounds of chicken, 1 pound of sausage, 2 pounds of shrimp. What is it? 5 pounds of meat. So that's a good amount for this. This is like a 2-gallon bag. I'm not 2-gallon bag, 2-gallon pot. This is a 2-gallon pot that I'm using. I'm sorry, I was turned away from the camera. This is a 2-gallon pot. No, I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah, 2-gallon pot. So this is 2 gallons of shrimp. So that's a good amount. And of course, I'm gonna cook rice. Cook rice over this. So you want this water good and hot with you. This water. You want this pot boiling, so when you drop your shrimp, they can continue. Everything can just continue to cook. All the shrimp are raw and they were frozen. These are good size ones too. These ones right here, these are some wonderful tasting shrimp, y'all. Wonderful. Just made it, y'all. So got my 2 pounds of shrimp in there. The first bag was just a regular bag of clean, deveined, and tail off shrimp, little Food Line brand shrimp. Good shrimp, because I use them all the time for my stir fries, shrimp fried rice, and stuff like that. So they're good shrimp. So we got lots of everything in there: shrimp, oysters, veggies, everything. So this is just, look, I don't know how y'all make your gumbo, but this is how I make mine. I learned some tips from my sister-in-law, some tips from my husband, and then I added my own thing to it. For instance, I like to use when I don't put like a lot of chicken, I'll use chicken broth. I never put just all water. I added more water in that because I forgot I had chicken broth. I could have just put all chicken broth, and that just keeps all that flavor together. So I probably put a quart or 2 of water in there after I cook, but I had to have the water in there in order to cook the chicken. So the flavor is good. I put gumbo filet. Listen, this gumbo filet, let me show y'all my bottle. I can't even tell you how many years I have had this. A friend of mine, when I lived in Mississippi, I bought this one here. This is authentic Louisiana. And someone filled this jar up for me again. This bottle of, I'm going to put just a tad. I have had this gumbo filet for probably 20 years because I had it. Oh Lord, this is some old gumbo filet, honey, and it's private stock. It's what I use. I don't use it a lot because I just don't. Okay, let's get these stirred. We don't want nothing sticking, so we're gonna get it stirred. Oops, I got it up high. Turn it down just a little bit. Let's turn it down. Look at all those goodies in there. This is gonna be some good eating, y'all. Look at all the good shrimp in there. Now Tezzy is my child that loves. Well, all of them love it. Now Tanya likes tomatoes in hers. If she wants to eat some, I just get her some out of here and put some tomatoes in hers. Everybody else likes it like this. And Tansy's the one, she likes hers loaded up with these shrimp, so it's loaded with shrimp. And the way you eat it is just with some rice. Put some rice over it. This is what I wanted. This is what I had a taste for. I had a taste for steak, and I had a taste for this gumbo for Mother's Day dinner. Okay. And just be careful when you cook this, because this is a very expensive pot of food. Probably costs $50 or $60. You have to add it up, and I'll tell y'all what it costs. About $50 to $75 to make a pot this size, y'all. And you don't want it. Last time I made it, I didn't cool it down properly. Because I left it out on the stove. You gotta cool it down. You really do. You gotta cool it down, get it in the refrigerator, and cool it all the way off. So this is the gumbo, y'all. So the gumbo is done. Just watch the video, take notes. And this is how I make my gumbo. If you don't want all this in yours, you can do it just however you want to do it. You can add in, leave off, do whatever. And like I said, I use garlic powder, complete seasoning, season all, and I use some of these are unsalted chicken bouillon, just for extra chicken flavor. Of course, my gumbo filet, and I used this Cajun seasoning, this kind right here. And you can buy the bag that has all the little seasoning in it. You can buy those and drop them. The reason I did not do that because they're really hot, and Tansy has a hard time with for her allergies, so I don't put those little bags in there. So, but you get all this flavor. As long as you guys find you some gumbo filet to put in there, honey, you going about your business now. That gumbo filet ain't no joke. I don't know how I'm gonna ever get me some more gumbo filet, but I only make this maybe once or twice a year. So my gumbo filet lasts. You use about a couple tablespoons of this, honey. This is private stock. Who you talk about, P? You think I pinch off of my masala season, my Indian season? Honey, I pinch off this even harder. So you can just, I use it very sparingly. So the gumbo is done. It just needs to cook a little bit longer. But everything, make sure my shrimp are cooked in really good. And all my ingredients are cooking in here. So for you gumbo lovers out there, honey, this is it, y'all. And it's not all that hard to make. It's just that it requires a lot of ingredients, a lot of prep, because it is a dish that you just do it with love and with care, because it's a very expensive dish too. I'm gonna tell you, you don't have to make this much. I make this much because I have big eaters, and I like to try to have at least a few bowls left to put in the freezer, so later on, because it freezes well, and when you freeze it, bring it back out and heat it up again, it's even better, y'all. So listen, this is gonna be on the menu for Sunday dinner. Tomorrow, when you see it again, it will be on the flavor train. We'll be sitting down having a bowl. So, hope you enjoyed watching me make Peggie's version of gumbo. So, until I decide to come back in this kitchen tomorrow, I will see y'all. Y'all have a great night. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do me a taste test bowl of this gumbo here tonight before I go to bed. And I want to call it a night. So, love you guys. Thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, grandmothers, aunties, whoever you are. Happy Mother's Day. God bless you. Stay safe. And I will see you guys tomorrow because I'm tired. I'm getting ready to go to bed here shortly. So, love you guys. Keep those prayers going up now so the blessings will continue to come down. And until tomorrow on the Flavor Train, toodaloo.